to today's stream where I decided I am going to be doing a just chatting stream. After playing that needy streamer overload game, I've decided to try and add more non-game streams to my repertoire. Mostly so I can have more chances to try new things. And honestly, I think I'm going to start just kind of lurking in random streams and see if I can find some that perk my interest. No, pick my interest. Either way, either way, either way. I hope everyone's doing good. I know I'm doing well enough. Now. First up, I'm going to tell you a couple things. I am planning to put in an art commission as soon as I know what I want and, can get references and whatnot. So, hi, Larry. Oh, it's Larry 4. All right. Hi, Larry 4. But I can show you a picture that was made by the person I plan to use because, well, it's just gonna, be who I plan to use. And they have already made just background art for people, so I know they're willing to do it. I just want to make sure I have everything ready, and then I want to make sure that I have it all organized and ask. But this is the person's art. Obviously in this one, I am the focus, but that doesn't mean that they can't do other things, obviously. I mean, I know it's kind of subtle, but this person is able to do a lot of details. I mean, look at the key, look at the little pixie, look at the window that's wide open, and look at that suitcase. There is just a lot of detail in this art. So, yeah, this is who I am planning to. This is who I'm planning to have as a request for specific background because I like this one. Hi, Luminous! I do like this one. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's something I found for free on Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi or however it's pronounced. And because of that, it is kind of a generic piece, And I want to be able to have something that's just mine. Every time I put something together, I order something together, I figure out something, it makes me feel like I'm putting more effort into it for you guys, I know that it's fine if I don't have everything as just me, but I really want to do more for the citizens who are part of my streaming life. I mean, I started as just a PNG model with, I think, Steam Elements background and whatnot. Heck, there were even sometimes I just used a solid color background. And, eventually I got this background in this form of chat. And I will be keeping this form of chat at least for now, once I upgrade the background. I got certain things I'm looking to do by the end of the year, at least to get started. It doesn't mean it'll be done, but it's plans. But, for example, the first thing second thing is getting a 5,000 bit emote, because there are two people who have earned it, and I really think they deserve something, you know? I mean, it just makes sense. Plus, honestly, some of the emotes I think I can, get rid of or update or circumvent. Like, I don't need the wiggly heart or the crying scroll. And I could just get a new pet. And as far as the rave and party emotes, they're literally the same thing, except one's just going doop, 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 and the other's just holding still. I could probably get rid of them both if I want to get an updated animated version. And I know that pow 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 is just a, throw on a gun for the shock one, but still. But yeah. And I am talking to someone about getting some music that's just mine, not game music that I'm just playing in the background, but something that's mine that I can, you know, have play. Something that there's a small chance that someone could hear it and go, oh yeah, I know that from Aquistream. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but I'm just trying to improve myself. In fact, tomorrow I am going to be working on making one of my shorts. I spent a lot of time finding something that I would like, and I'm hoping it manages well. I just found an old stream from when I was playing Plants vs. Zombies, and I sang like over a dozen times in that stream alone. Yeah, I know that's surprising. I never sing on stream, not even a little bit. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to ramble about that a little bit. I mean, I got I got things I can talk about. I got things I can rant about. I got things I can indulge in beyond games, and I really want to. Honestly, I think a small part of me is thinking, if I'm playing a game, at least there's that. But if I'm talking, it means that it's only me. And what if they don't like only me? And I gotta break past that, because there's also going to be people that really like only me, that come here for just Aqui. The people who are like, of course I'm going to be there. It's Aqui stream. Things like that. I need to, I just need to be more willing to trust myself. Like, I could go back and maybe start writing more for that video game idea I had. Or I could do another, like, random prompt story writing, story idea making, you know. But, yeah, I just want to do more, because you all deserve it. I mean, it's not like I give up easily. I had been streaming twice a week, asterisk, for obvious reasons. Power outages, sickness, blah, 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 whatever. Things happen. But I have been streaming for over 2 years now. I have like 200 plus VODs of my old streams on YouTube. I do not easily give up, especially if I'm enjoying it, especially if I'm having fun. And yeah. So you guys don't have to worry about me going anywhere. I have stuck around. In fact, and while I don't have like extremely high expectations of this, I put out basically feelers about maybe doing something at some cons. I I'm not expecting to be like, oh hey, we're having Aquirena as the big front stage, blah blah blah. But you know, maybe I could be part of a group, or maybe I could be someone in one of those little tablet things wheeling around. But if I don't try, then I'll for sure never get further. You know, taking that first step, it might be rocky, it might be strugglesome. You might even lose your shoe getting stuck in the mud. But if you don't take that first step, you can't make any progress and you can't move forward with what you want to do. You've got to move and take that step knowing that bad things could happen as a result to get to what you want. Now, obviously, you're not going to step on like a spike trap on purpose, so to speak, but yeah, you gotta try to thrive. And again, I'm not trying to make this into a career, but I constantly want to improve. I want to work harder, and I want to give more love to everyone who's here for me and who enjoys spending time with me. So, what do you say we go and see what comes up for Would You Rather? Now, this one I had to kind of finagle a little bit because, you know, the size, it's in a web browser, blah, 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 whatever. But, yeah. So, this one is an interesting one. Tell yourself, tell your younger self one thing. Or ask yourself, your future self, one question. Now, I am going to assume that the way this is that they are allowing future Aqui to answer current Aqui. Now, if I could talk to younger Aqui, I'd probably say something about Bitcoin, no question, you know? That's a pretty simple thing. But here's the problem. If younger Aqui buys Bitcoins and gets like a pile of money from it, how big of an impact would that have on current Aqui? I mean, would I even still want to be a VTuber? I wouldn't have all the friends that I have. At least probably. I'd still have the friends from before that point, but it would overhaul my whole life to have something like that happen. So, what I think I would do is I would ask future Aqui basically a Bitcoin-like question. I'd be like, what is the winning lottery tickets for the for, I don't know, I'm just going to say the next lottery that's worth over $250 million or something like that, you know? Because after taxes, that would probably be about 100 million, which is still an absurd amount. But, you know, it would mean that I would set aside like 10% of it to help people. And the yeah, and I would probably just help people with that 10% of the money, but I would not give them the money directly. Instead, what I would do is be like, you know what? I will find out like debt centers and just pay off the people's debts and things like that. Mhm. Because if a person's really having trouble with paying for blank, I will gladly pay for blank, but I will not give them the money to pay for blank because what if I give them the money and they don't pay for blank? You know? I mean, if the purpose of me giving the money is to pay for blank, I should just cut out the middleman, so to speak, and pay for blank myself. So, let's see how this went. Ah. All right, sleep with your celebrity crush or get your dream job. Hmm. Now, here's the problem. Um, I don't think I have a celebrity crush. Someone would have to tell me who my celebrity crush is for me to get that, you know? I mean, I don't pay much attention to famous people. I think the most hmm, probably in a future thing, but now I do have two jobs that, you know, if I knew they would be financially viable, I would love to have a story writer, you know, a professional writer, mhm, or a voice actor. Mhm. I mean, I've had a couple pros say that I had potential, and considering that one no two of those pros had no problem saying, yeah, you have no hope as you are now, so I wouldn't bother trying. To some of the people, I do kind of believe them. One actually said that, you know, you were good at kind of the fake crying stuff, the sounds, because he actually gave me scripts for characters, because apparently that's how they were doing the like demonstration type thing. And I forget the character, but it was like crying over someone that was like almost dead in their arms, and I was like, I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to take care of you, and then I will find the guy who did this, and I will make sure he can never do anything like this again. Because, you know, the script said very tearful. So, yeah, I tried like forcing like generic sobbing type sounds and, um, you know, things like that. So if I knew I could have a dream job that also was going to be like stable financially enough, I would easily pick this. But if I didn't know it was financially stable, I would pick this because, you know, I mean, it's weird, but I mean, I've shared hotels with people before. You know, you just kind of hop in the bed, you fall asleep. No big deal. Plus, I get to find out who my celebrity crush is. But then if the celebrity crush is someone that a lot of people are interested in, then I might get the paparazzi after me after that. Even though it's just like sharing a bed and going to sleep. And I don't want paparazzi bugging me. I'll pick dream job. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hmm. All right. Spend the rest of your life stuck indoors or stuck outdoors? I'm going to say indoors. I'm going to say indoors mainly because outdoors, what constitutes indoors versus outdoors? Like, there are so many things to consider, sanitation and whatnot. And what constitutes indoors, outdoors? Like, if you build yourself a shelter, are you not allowed to go in it? You know, where is the cutoff? Like, what if it's basically a house except one whole wall is missing? Does that constitute outdoors or indoors? Now, obviously, I wouldn't really be able to go out and do things. I'd have to like order grocery deliveries and um, figure out a workaround for things. But yeah. Hmm. Oh, that one was closer than I thought. Oh, this one's easy. This one's easy. Donate your body to science. My body is already being used by science because I'm an alien. Or donate your organs to people who need it. Now, here's the thing. From what I understand, even humans can't share all of each other's organs. Like they need special rules. I think blood type's part of it, but I don't know the entirety of it. Because, like, A, B, C, O, or whatever blood types. And then there's positive and negative, but no neutral. And those are, like, the main types of blood. Apparently, there's a lot of other types of blood. It's just there's so few of them that it's not really worth, thinking about. Imagine a world where a person could only take their own donated blood. Everyone would donate blood as a just in case. But yeah, donate the body to science. Live in a dystopian society with strict control, or an anarchic society with no control. Neither one of these seems good. I mean, anarchy and no control basically means no laws. Everyone just does whatever the heck they want. But at the same time, in a dystopian society, it's kind of like a snake. If you can get rid of the head, or a couple heads, the rest of it kind of starts to fall apart. While an anarchy society, it's like there's dozens, hundreds, thousands of hydras all fighting each other. So, I think it would be easier to get out of a dystopian one, even though I'm not saying it would be easy. I'm just saying it would be easier as opposed to one that is pure and utter chaos without any semblance of rule and order. Because, hate that I have to pick something, but just because I think the flaw is easier to get rid of, I'm going to pick the dystopian one. 47 to 53. Not able to sit or not able to stand. I don't know if I like this game anymore. I don't. I understand that, Larry, but. Now, let's think. If I'm not able to stand, standing involves you sitting, being still. So you'd still be able to like walk and run and like sidestep, loophole. Not being able to sit, but you could still lay down, you could still lean, you could still be carried. But I do think it would be more of a hassle not to be able to sit than not to be able to stand, just because standing involves not moving. So as long as you keep moving, you can be on your feet. But there's not really much of a loophole for sitting. So because I think there's more loopholes for it, I would pick stand. You just got to keep your feet moving. I that is fair. That is fair. I mean, see ghosts everywhere. Be haunted by a single relentless ghost. Now, here's the thing. Seeing the ghosts would be annoying, but they're just kind of there. And the other one, sure, there's only one, but it is actively haunting you. That to me feels kind of like a deal breaker. I do not want to be haunted. Plus, you are only seeing the ghosts, which means you don't have any of your senses interacting with them. I don't hear them. I don't taste them. I don't feel them. I don't hear them. I don't smell them. But haunted means they are actively aggressive to me. Like, and honestly, I do think it would depend on certain specifics. I definitely have follow-up questions. But I think I'll go with see ghosts. Oh, I'm on the majority side this time. Okay, be unattractive but have an attractive partner. Be attractive and have an unattractive partner. Now, this might seem a little bit shallow, but here's what I'm going to say. I am going to say the red one. I'll be unattractive and have an attractive partner. But here's the logic, okay? Who determines that I'm unattractive? And if I have an attractive partner, that means there's something about me that they like. I find them attractive, and they like me enough to be with me. even if they don't find me attractive, it means that the other attributes make up for it. Plus, physical attraction, physical attractiveness can be manipulated to an extent. You can dye your hair, get it cut, apply makeup. You can, try different fashions. Mm-hmm. Plus, maybe they actually find you attractive. I mean, there are a lot of people who find, unattractive people attractive. There's a lot of people that find conventionally attractive people unappealing. You know, there is no universal appeal. Mm-hmm. So I am going to assume that this is a case where you are unattractive in the conventional sense. Your partner is attractive to you personally. And since I would not be with someone that I hate the personality of, that is a double whammy. I get somebody that I like to see and I like to spend time with. And honestly, I would gladly sacrifice liking to see them physically for liking to spend time with them, you know? Because if you love someone, you start to kind of permeate the appealing traits of what you love about them onto their physical body. And you start to like the stuff that you might have previously thought of as flawed. So, yeah, there is no question. I am picking red. All right, that's a good lead. Participate in a dating show or a survival show? All right, I definitely need specifics for this. Like, is there a prize? How long does the survival show last? Is it something like Survivor or is it something like Naked and Afraid? Is it, I forget the name of it, but the one where they just kind of kidnap you and abandon you in a random middle of nowhere with a pile of random stuff, and you just have to find your way back to civilization? Is it kind of Bear Grylls? What sort of survival show, and is there a prize? In a dating show, participate means like there's Bachelor and Bachelorette. Am I the one everyone is trying to date? Or am I one of the horde of people trying to date the other person? There's just a lot of variables. I will say though, dating shows are probably over with faster, but survival shows, I could probably learn some nice tricks on how to survive. I might be able to, like say it's a Survivor type show where you get voted off. I could try to get voted off like in the first couple rounds. And then basically have it as like a mini vacation. Because you're not allowed to leave until the show's over. That way you can't spoil the ending for people by leaving before it's done being recorded. I mean, sure, there might be a prize of like, I don't know, $500,000 or whatever, but I would not win a reality like survival show. But if they got like 20 people, they eliminate one person every other day. That is 40 days. If I can get eliminated very quickly, I could have a month or more at whatever resort they're sticking all of the contestants at when they get eliminated. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the dating show, maybe I could find someone I'd be interested in dating. And it would be over fast. dating show? Hmm. I expected that to be closer in, percentages. All right, be put in a maximum security prison with criminals who committed murder for 1 year, or be in prison with people who committed minor crimes for 10 years. All right, all right, all right. Now, here's the thing, maximum security probably means that you are, all locked in separate cells. I can understand that, Larry. I was very torn on it. I would definitely want to know more specifics. Like, if it's just to prove how well you can survive one, I would take the dating show. But if it's like a long term, there's a prize, I would take the survival show. Because I could get a long vacation on someone else's tab. Oh, that reminds me. This is a ways away, but in the future, I'm probably gonna do some like pre-recorded streams because in like a year and a half, I'm planning to take a multi-week vacation, and I don't want to leave you guys with nothing. But that's like a year and a half from now. Plenty of time, plenty of time. So for this, maximum security means I don't think I would have much of a risk. I am not someone who would want to get involved with any of the groups. I would just kind of hide away in my cell, read books, probably work out if I get bored. Whereas, because that's just 1 year, that's 365 days. You know, 365 days, a year can go by pretty quickly, when you're not paying the most attention to it. Plus, I could make a game of it. I count down, turn it into like a math countdown. Because 365 days is only 8,760 hours, which is also only a little over 500,000 minutes. Yeah. And I know the generic prison is probably less stressful, but it's 10 years. It's a whole decade. I mean, that's what, 2 or 3 different video game console releases? Mm, that is a lot of time to go by. I mean, think about how fast, like, technology moves. You could go in being the most technologically advanced person and come out as one of those people that have to be told to turn it off and on again. So I would take the 1 year one because I'm sure that they would keep everyone separate as much as possible. And ironically, I think it would be safer because it's just 1 year. Oh, a lot of people agree with me on that one. Find true love or win the lottery. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure if I believe in a complete and utter true love. Like that one person who is perfect for you 100%. Especially considering the number of people out there. I mean, I imagine, let's say there is someone that's absolutely perfect for you in every way, shape, or form. Let's just assume that's true. I imagine most of the happiest marriages are like 85% or better, like 85 to 90%, 95%. You know, Plus, just because they are your true love doesn't mean that you're what they're looking for. You know? Plus, the lottery opens up a lot of options for anybody, no matter what. And I know it's a little pessimistic, but I've been a single Pringle for so long. I keep having people try to set me up on dates, but honestly, romance is like very low on my to do list. I just, I'm not sure if I care about romance. It's one of those things that I would love to have happen if it happens, but I don't actively care about. Yeah, but that's still a lot of money. I mean, what is a small lottery? I'm going to look that up real quick. All right. What is the smallest lottery in 2025? Let's see. Smallest lottery jackpot in 2025. All right, even that looks like a good amount. So, you know, if I were to win the lottery, yeah, but just because they're your true love doesn't mean that you're their true love. And I just can't imagine. Maybe I'm a bit of a pessimist. But it's kind of like all all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares sorts of thing. Just because I find them to be my true love doesn't mean I would be their true love. And what if I find someone who's my true love and they just are like, oh no thanks, you're not my type. You're not cute enough. You're not tall enough. You're not. Sorry, this is going in kind of a sad direction. But yeah, you guys might find this weird, but even though I do want to find romance at some point, I mean, at least I'm open to the idea of romance. Honestly, I think I'd be fine if I stay single forever. The what ifs, you know. Plus, you wouldn't have just your true love. You would have your true love's family. And how many couples end up having a horrible time because of the family? It's not just a one person thing. And even though money, well, the love of money can be horrible, money can also solve problems. So I'm going to take the lottery. I am skipping this one. No, I refuse to do this one. I refuse to do this one. I said I refuse to. I am not doing political votes. Mm-hmm. All right, now this is easy enough. Spend a year without social media or spend a year without streaming services. Now, I barely use streaming services as it is. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Peacock. I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have any of those. The only ones I got are free with commercials. Plus, YouTube doesn't count as a streaming service. Television and physical movies don't count as streaming services. I would still have plenty of entertainment. Now, if I wasn't a streamer, I would say give up social media. But because of the fact I am a VTuber and I'm trying to connect with people, trying to get people to know I exist, things like that, I can't get rid of social media for a year. I mean, I suppose I could if I trusted someone enough to do my tweets for me, or if I if I pre-did a year's worth of tweets. But yeah, I don't have a single paid streaming service. I got the ones with commercials, but they're free. Retro Crush, Pluto TV. I think the next one's called Tubi. I think Freevee was one, but I think they got bought out by something. So, honestly, if I didn't need Twitter and the like to, try to expand myself, I would pick social media. But because of the fact I am a VTuber and I'm trying to expand my, the fact that I exist and I'm trying to make friends, I'm going to go the year without streaming services. Because, honestly, there's other options. Oh, I'm in the majority. A roommate who's never loud, or one who never cleans. Now this you got to consider. Let's take a generic roommate. Let's take a generic roommate. Now, they're not like a clean, germaphobe, overzealous, and they're also not like quiet as whatever in those Christmas stories. So they're just kind of generic. So one who is always loud. That's the key word. Always. So even when they are sleeping, they are always loud. I mean, think about it. Now, another thing, they never clean. So, that is a thing. I think I could deal with the never cleaning more than I could deal with the always loud. You bring up a good point, Larry. But I also got to consider the fact that I'm a streamer. I mean, imagine a roommate that is so loud that the audience could hear them ranting about whatever. That would not be a good thing. Plus, I could just kind of make a deal with them Because if they're always loud, they might not realize it, and there's not really anything that can be done to stop or undo the loudness. If they never clean, I could make them pay me to clean for them, or just hire someone to clean once a week to clean for them. You know? It's like, if you're not going to clean, you're going to do these other things. You're going to do all the grocery shopping. You're going to pay more of the rent, things like that. This is a hard one because I don't have a roommate. I get this part of the lab all to myself. I mean, sometimes the researchers visit. Plus, I just don't like loud noises. If I hear a noise, even if it's not loud, it bothers me to the point where I have to try to find where it's from. It's like, what is that? Even if it's not loud, if I can hear it, I have to find it. I have to figure out what it is. It's going to bother me. It's like an itch in my head that I can't scratch until I find what it is. Now, once I know what it is, that's a thing. But I am more susceptible to noise than I am to, it being dirty. So I'm going with the cleaning. But it looks like Larry's side won. Okay, this one is super easy for me. I'm picking blue. Because I literally never drink coffee. And I very rarely drink tea. I have tea, but I mostly have it when I'm sick. Or if I want something too hot to drink. Especially in the months of May, June, July, and August, where I can't have hot chocolate. Because those ones don't have the letter R in them. And I only drink hot chocolate in months that have an R in them. So yeah, this one is easy. Coffee, tea, no question. Achieve your biggest career goal but lose all your current friends. Keep your friends but never reach that goal. I don't know what my current goal is. I don't think I have a current goal. I mean, I guess you could say being a VTuber is my current goal, but I've already achieved it. I don't need. I suppose my current goal is to go on that vacation. Anyway, we're about to have commercials, so if someone wants to hit exclamation break, we'll be able to get that started. And, we'll see you in just a few minutes. So, yeah, feel free to get up, stretch, get a drink, get a snack, whatever you want. And we'll be back in 3 minutes. Let's go! any specific goals, so it feels disingenuous to do this one. So I'm just gonna refresh until something. Here we go. Live without any entertainment or without social interaction. I don't think I could survive either one. I legitimately don't think I could survive either one of those. Social interactions are basically something that's needed for a person to, like, survive. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd have to pick the entertainment, but what are the limits of it? Do they just mean movies, games, and books? I mean, no, the former is the first one and the latter is the second. The blue one would drive people. They would not be able to mentally handle it. You know, that they'd end up making like imaginary friends. Hmm. And just imagine going to like a grocery store. All of a sudden, there's no one there. There's no one there to take your food, money. There's no one there to sell you anything. There's no one there to do anything. I mean, I I don't want to give up either one because I don't think I could handle either one. But I think I'd be able to adjust to this one through a lot of frustration because people, I think, mentally just have to have people. Yeah, exactly. You have the ability to erase other people's memories or control them temporarily. I'm going to say red, partly because I don't trust myself with blue. But imagine this, being like a therapist for people with PTSD and stuff. You could literally offer to remove those dark, horrible memories if they want. I mean, obviously, you'd want them to go through some therapy first, but if they can't handle it, even after some therapy, you could literally just remove those memories from them. I mean, it's obviously best that those bad things don't happen, but I do think that could help people. Mhm. Too bad it says other people's that otherwise I could remove a few of my own memories. But yeah, I would not trust myself to control other people fully. Hmm. I already have blue. I will lay in bed letting the water soak me for like an hour before I already go to sleep. So, honestly, honestly, if I just pick blue, nothing changes. And I would much rather, stick with what I have than experience something new on top of it. Hmm. Now here is the thing. What defines art? Mhm. What defines art? And would they still be able to do peer to peer connections without a full internet? Because, they say anything can be art. People call almost anything art. There are at least two cases where somebody made art that was literally trash to the point that the janitorial staff cleaned it up and threw away the art at the museum because they thought it was literally trash. I mean, if they just mean paintings, that's not too bad. But what determines what art is? And without the internet, I wouldn't be able to talk with all the people I care about. I wouldn't be able to spend time exploring things. Exactly, art is too subjective. I mean, there's people that literally argue over what is. This feels like too open ended of a question to be a legitimate question. So I'm going to cheat and I'm going to skip it. Hmm. Honestly, I would do blue. I do not want to fight a vast herd. You know, there are just too many people. I never go shopping on Black Friday. I never actually really go looking for the deals. You know? Now, clearance is another story because that's not a sale. I mean, hmm. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to avoid the chaos. That is closer than I expected. Never be able to use your dominant hand, only be able to walk backwards. I mean, this one's easy. If I can't use my dominant hand, like ever, I think that what that would be is like some sort of like I lost my hand situation or a medical blah blah blah, and they could deal with some sort of, prosthetic. Or I could just make my, you know, non dominant hand my dominant hand while only be able to walk backwards. You would not be able to see where you're going. I mean, if you walk backwards, you cannot see where you're going. You have to awkwardly look backwards. And I would not be able to do that too well. I mean, it would be a hard time, but either with some sort of prosthetic or relearning what hand to use or both. Be able to talk to your past self or your future self. This question's kind of already been asked. Keep a turkey as a pet for a year. Be the one to kill the turkey you eat for Thanksgiving. Hmm. But but um what if you don't have Thanksgiving. What if you have like ham? Hmm. And why am I only keeping the turkey as a pet for a year? I mean, is it like a babysitting thing? Am I getting paid to take care of it for a year? How? Hmm. I mean, you know, you gotta you gotta eat, and I have, you know, taken care of things in order to eat before. Not often, but I have. But a turkey, hmm, all right. Mm, all right. All right. I just looked up a little bit about a turkey. Turkeys can be good pets due to their social affection and intelligent nature, but they require a significant amount of space, can be noisy, and their droppings are large. They need a spacious outdoor area for foraging and roaming, and a coop with at least 8 square feet per bird. Mm-mm. Nope, 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 nope. I am not managing all that for a turkey just for 1 year. Plus, the droppings would be a hassle. It's not like a litter box where you can just like dump everything out. Yeah, I'm going blue one in this case. Have hiccups for a week straight. Have to listen to a baby cry nonstop for 24 hours. Now, the fact that they said have to means that you can't circumvent this. Hmm. Yeah, I was on the fence until I looked up like what it's like to take care of a turkey. I can't handle that as a pet. Like, there's nothing wrong with admitting what you can and can't do. I will not have a dog because I do not trust myself to be able to take care of it good enough. So I do not have a dog because I don't want to be a bad pet owner. Now, a cat, I think I could handle. They are a lot more able to live on their own. You know, they don't need to go outside all the time for walks to use the bathroom. And they're a lot smaller for the most part. And, well, I'm not saying I dislike dogs, but I just like cats more. Now, Luminous, I totally get what you're coming from, but I have had hiccups where it lasts for hours and it is physically painful. Like, after just an hour, it's like you're getting punched in the chest over and over and over. I could not manage that for a week. Especially if we assume it's like 5 or 6 hiccups a minute and it doesn't give you time for sleep. Hmm. But yeah, I've had hiccups for hours and it is just painful. I can't handle it. This one was very close. Knowingly let someone you love make a life altering mistake, step in and risk losing their trust forever. Honestly, it depends on what the mistake is. Hmm. I mean, if it's life altering and it's a mistake, it's probably bad. But there's different levels of life altering, you know? Like, you know, losing your job, that would alter your life, you know? Like, but it isn't necessarily a permanent thing, you know? But if it's something like drinking and driving and getting paralyzed as a result, that is an easy one to make. I would pick blue there no matter what. But exactly. You know, like drinking and driving and causing all sorts of chaos. Yeah, I would pick blue, no question. If it is, if it's something like they really need to break up with current, significant other because this person is insert derogatory term here, in my experience, people don't want to listen to that. I know someone that when she was getting married, I was like, this person isn't right for you. You are not going to last. It is not going to be a good marriage. And other people told her the same thing, and she got mad at them all. Mm-hmm. She like refused to listen. So I didn't say anything because I knew she wouldn't listen. Plus, it doesn't even say that you prevent the mistake. Honestly, it just depends on what the mistake is, if I would step in or not. Because some mistakes, it's better to let a person learn for themselves. Other mistakes, no! You get your foot on the ground, you be the bad guy, and you stop it. It doesn't matter. You don't, if you care for the person, you don't want it to be a big thing. So I'm going to say blue with an asterisk where there are some times, depending on the situation, that I would ignore it. Like with that getting married thing, she got divorced in like 8 months. I didn't do any of that I told you so's type stuff, especially since I didn't actually tell her. Because like 5 other people did, and she ignored them all and uninvited them to the wedding. I didn't go to the wedding because I didn't believe in it. But, yeah. All right. Only watch Christmas movies for the entire month of December. Only listen to Christmas music for the entire month of December. Oh, this one's easy for me. I'm going to pick music, even if I'm streaming, I can listen to the Christmas music and be like, hey, it's Christmas. We're going to have a Christmas song. Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Mm-hmm. Things like that. Or, you know, if you want to if you want to sing it in Japanese, that's actually a fun one too. But yeah, Makana ohana no Tanakai-san wa itsumo minano imono demo sono toshino kurisumasu no hi Santa no oji-san wa imashita kurai yo michi wa pika pika no. That's enough Christmas, Santa. But yeah, the funny thing is the Japanese version of it kind of goes, Rudolph was finally useful if you translate it fully, but they kind of translated it as best they could to make it match the melody, you know. But anyway, I'm going to stick with the music. Hmm. Live in a world without Disney movies, live in a world without Disney theme parks. Hmm. You know what? You know what? I'm trying to think of what would hurt Disney the most. Because right now, a lot of their movies are actually losing them money. And but their theme parks are starting to fall apart too. Hmm. Plus, think of all those movie companies that Disney couldn't have bought if they don't make movies. Mhm. But I honestly think with the movies losing money, I think the theme parks are keeping them afloat. So, bye bye, theme parks. Mhm. Receive a handmade gift that you dislike, or a store bought gift that you love. Now, here's the thing. First up, I am going to say that fan art, even if it is quote unquote bad, I am going to love it. I Even if it's literally just a stick figure with blue like pigtails, I'll still like it because it means that you put thought and energy into me. Whereas a handmade gift I dislike, the fact I dislike it means it is something that is actively not me. Mhm. I mean, think about it. Think about it. I don't care if it's a homemade thing or a store bought thing. I'm either going to like it, dislike it, or kind of be indifferent towards it, you know? Like a whole collection of this manga that I love, but I don't have, that would be something I love that would be store bought. Now, something like, I don't know, fuzzy leather slippers, that could be store bought or homemade. And honestly, I would feel a strong preference one way or another. It's a practical thing, it's got its uses. Now, homemade stuff, that I actively dislike. For example, I don't like wearing the color orange. I am not a fan of that color, especially worn. So if someone made me like a big orange sweater that had sleeves that went down to my ankles and a hoodie that was so big it went down past my belly button for the hood, except on the back, I would hate that. And the fact that it is so mismatched, is a color that I hate, is proportioned awfully. I would would much rather get a cheap $5 gift that I love than get something that they probably just made because they were bored and was like, you know what, who can I pawn this off on? Yeah, we'll pawn this off on Aqui. I mean, even if it's not a good gift, as long as it shows that they put an effort into it, like, you know, like maybe one arm's not quite the same length as the other, or the hoodie is too small to go over my head. As long as, it's like the right colors, something I like, maybe a poorly designed dolphin somewhere on it, like, you know, as long as there's proof that they put thought into what I would like, thought into who I am, then yeah. Now this one's easy. I am not picking red because that would be a horrible way to live. And there's other treats besides cookies. There's brownies. There's cheesecakes. There. Now I know they're called no bake cookies, but are they actually cookies? Because it doesn't feel like they're cookies. Plus, there's cake. There's pie. There's milkshakes. There's ice cream. Mhm. Exactly. And I don't care how many different flavors of cookies there are, Plate on peanut butter, sugar cookies, oatmeal raisin, chocolate chip, peanut butter, snickerdoodle, ginger snap, Oreo, gingerbread. I could not handle that as the only thing I could eat. And it looks like the vast majority of people agree with us. Master every martial art but never use them. Then what's the point? Know only one move that always works, but only once. I mean, honestly, what's the point in knowing all this stuff if I never can use it? At least this I can use it once. Receive a gift you hate every year. Okay, this is easy. Because honestly, this one just says you only receive one gift every year you hate. But I struggle with what gifts I get. But at the same time, if I'm always giving perfect gifts and never get a single one, even if I dislike it, that would be a little heartbreaking. Plus, it only says a gift. It doesn't say you're limited to a gift. That just means in a given year, you are guaranteed to get one gift you're going to hate. But I think I'd rather go with this. Have cotton candy as your only taste of sugar, or never taste it again. I'm fine with never tasting cotton candy. Travel to the past and risk altering history. Visit the future and know your fate. Now, fate means like at the end what you did with your whole life, blah, blah, blah. This would let you change it. This, I think, depends on how far back in time I go. But I'd go with blue. I'd be able to change things if I need to. Give up all pastries forever, or only eat pastries for the rest of your life. This I gotta look up something. What is a pastry? Because I need to know the specifics. Pastry, a dough of flour, shortening, and water, used as a base on and covering in dishes such as pies. Oh, so basically it just means you can only eat things that are that are like wrapped in like pastry bread. You know, you could have stuffed pastries, you could have a meat pastry, a fruit pastry, a veggie pastry, a pudding pastry. Hmm. But it's still pretty limiting. I think I'd have an easier time giving up pastries than only eating them. Yeah. Absolute security, but freedom, but no security. Complete security with no freedom. Hmm. I'm going to assume that this is just talking about me. So I'm going to say the freedom. Mhm. Climb to the highest peak without gear. Live at the base of a mountain but never be allowed to. I don't want a mountain climb. I pick that. Live in a gingerbread house that constantly attracts critters. I barely eat gingerbread now. Mhm. So giving up gingerbread is not a big deal for me. Unlimited access to the world's finest coca, but never taste chocolate again. Enjoy chocolate daily, but never experience coca in any other form. Oh, okay. Hmm, okay. Yeah, I only really have gingerbread around Christmas, and I can give that up. I know that coca is used to make chocolate, but I don't know what else it's used to make. What is. Let's see. Hmm. You know what? I think I'm gonna have unlimited access and but never taste chocolate again. Cause I just think it would work better. Plus, think about it. If I had unlimited access to the finest cocoa, I could be basically like Willy Wonka's supplier. Yep. Bringing the cocoa to the Wonka bin, meeting the Oompa Loompas. Gonna sell it out 'cause that's my plan. Gonna get all I can. I'm gonna try out the new Jawbreaker once it's all completed. Maybe the chewing gum, you never know what else I could find with them. But yeah, the fact it's unlimited access. Mhm. Swing through the jungle with monkeys, but never speak again. Aww. I can never speak if I'm with the monkeys. I can only communicate in monkey sounds, but I get to live with people. I would definitely need to have to learn like sign language or get an interpreter or something, but at least I could live with people. I would not want to live with monkeys. Mm-mm. do I have privacy if my speech is restricted? This one seems counterintuitive because if you have complete and utter privacy, then it means that no one would know what you're saying. So why would you have restricted speech? This feels like a bad question. Invent a groundbreaking technology but never receive credit, or be famous for a minor invention. For me, it depends on one factor and one factor only. Would somebody else get credit? You know? Because if it's just something like an anonymous person, blah, 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 you know, or some unknown inventor, yada, 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 I, it might be weird, but I don't mind not getting credit as long as somebody else does not get credit. You know? Maybe I'm weird like that, but I mean, it's just kind of a pet peeve, like, you know, um, okay, this, I don't go on the website a ton, but I do go on the website, and I go on Gaia Online, and I gift people stuff, you know? And I would gift people a lot of stuff as an anon, and I didn't care that I never got credit. But I saw a lot of people taking credit, and that always bugged me. I don't know why, but it's like I don't care about the credit until someone else takes it. You know? Like, say if I decide to send a gift to someone on Throne, I would not care that they don't know that I did it. But the moment I see random follower 832 say, "Oh yeah, I sent you that gift. I'm glad you like it," I would be, "No, I sent the gift. I got the receipts. I can prove it right now." And I would show it. But as long as nobody else takes credit for it, that is the plus famous doesn't necessarily mean that you're a household name. It means that you're, known. It doesn't mean that you're something that everyone is constantly thinking about. Like, think about being famous like Rick Astley. For the Rickroll song. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. I could see that level of fame for a minor invention. You can kind of become a meme. It's not something that people are constantly thinking about you. They just kind of think about you like, "Oh yeah, I remember that now," when the Rickroll song happens. So I'll just put it this way: if nobody else takes credit, I'd easily pick red. But if someone else is going to take credit, I'm going to take blue. And honestly, even a minor invention could be nice. But at the same time, fame is frustrating if it's too big. Okay, you know what? Because they would basically want to, if it's groundbreaking, it means that somebody is going to take credit for it. And if it's not me, bake cookies that taste amazing but look terrible. Take cookies that look perfect but taste awful. Okay, this one is no question. I'm picking red. It doesn't matter if it looks bad as long as it tastes great. Oh, have your teeth permanently stuck together by hard candy. Um, what? Uh, like they're held in place by hard candy? There's always hard candy attached. And how sweet is sweet? You know what? I'll just do this. You would get used to the taste. Alright. Sing carols door to door in a blizzard. Listen to off-key carolers outside your window all night. Well, if it's night, I'd be tired and go to sleep. I've slept through worse. Hmm. Only read short stories. Never read a short story. Honestly, for the most part, I prefer longer stories, so. But it would depend on what a short story is. But yeah, I'd rather read a long one. Eat only date nut bread for the rest of your life. Never taste any bread again. So you can still have it, you just don't taste it. And what constitutes bread? Only if it's labeled bread? Like, could you still have biscuits and croissants and bagels? Yeah, I'm going blue. Hmm. I mean, just because you air your deepest grievances publicly doesn't mean it's a big group. All you'd really have to do is go outside and just kind of rant for a little bit. You know, publicly doesn't mean in front of a crowd, it just really means anywhere that people could be. So, go to like an open field where there's maybe one, um, person feeding the farm animals or whatever, and just start ranting. Or go to like an anime con where it's crowded and blah, 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 and let it out there. Yeah. Or it could be in a place that they don't even speak your language, really. So you could just kind of rant for a little bit. And yeah. Give a gift you know they'll hate but pretend to love. I'd rather get the one I hate. Open all your gifts and not like any. Give gifts that everyone dislikes. Now, I've actually had this happen. Yeah. The gift I got that I disliked the most, hermit crabs. I just, why? I don't get why they would have picked hermit crabs. Yeah, exactly on that previous question, Luminous. Hmm. Spend your holiday alone with unlimited gifts or loved ones without receiving anything. Now, honestly, I'm going to pick blue, but because they say holidays. But here's what I'm going to say. My loved ones, I get to see all the time outside of the holidays. So if they only mean like 3 or 4 actual days, like Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, then I'll pick red. Because I can just postpone seeing the loved ones later. But if they mean like every day from after Halloween to, the day after, yeah, if it's more than like 4 days, I'm picking blue. If it's 4 days or less, I'd actually have to think about it. Because unlimited is a lot. But, your loved ones take priority. I'm just saying, though, if you have to give up 2 days, you could think of it as working on a holiday. And you just get all this stuff, and then you could pawn it off, and you could use that for, like, amazing stuff. Eat a fruit cake made entirely of mystery ingredients. That you only have to do once, because it says a fruit cake, and it doesn't say like every year or whatever. Never celebrate any holiday again. No. Give me that mystery cake. Always win a card game but lose all your friends. Always lose but be the life of the party. I have the power to stop time but age twice as fast. Never age but be stuck in a single moment. Both of those sound awful. Like, stuck in a single moment, do they mean time is frozen? And if you freeze time, do you stop aging? There are too many questions. I would need a lot of I would need a lot of questions answered, but I think I'd pick the stop time. Give up bacon, eat unlimited bacon. I would give up bacon. I like bacon, but it's not part of a constant thing. You know? I mean, ham and sausage could fill those gaps for breakfast. Well, actually, just sausage. The only thing that I would really feel the pinch, so to speak, is BLTs. I do like BLTs. But, yeah. You know what? I hate to do this, but I'm feeling kind of out of it now. So, I think I'm going to call it kind of early. Yeah. So let's see who is up today. Let's see. Not a lot, but you know what? Trickery is interviewing Melanie, and Melanie is going to be on my stream next week, so we're going to raid into there. We raiding into your stream. Now, if you don't have the emotes, you can buy it for 400 points. Or, of course, you can get a sub if you want, but don't feel any pressure to. So the next two streams are going to be more of Stardew Valley and then the snack tier list. Anyway, thank you for coming. That's fine, Luminous. Take care, stay safe, have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you all again real soon. Take care.